welcome back to the potting shed, everyone. A couple of weeks ago I said that it wasn't just the end of this year's season, but it's also the start of next year's season. And with that in mind, today I'm going to plant my broad beans and root trainers. So these are my saved beans from last year. There, you can see them better there. These are the saved beans from last year, and it's a variety called Grano Violetto, and they were originally from Premier Seeds Direct. We got good crops last year. In fact, I've still got a bag of them in the freezer, so I'm going to go with them again this year. As I said, this is my saved seeds from this year. So, first thing we're going to do is we've got these root trainers, and as you can see, they've got ridges down them. And what this does is this forces the roots to go deep. As the plant's growing upwards, the roots are going really deep to the bottom. And when you see the roots coming out the bottom, that's when you really start to plant them out. The other benefit of using these root trainers is that I know the mice aren't going to get them. If I plant them just in the ground, the mice are going to get them. I think that's what happened to my dwarf green beans that I put in the autumn. I put 2 rows of dwarf green beans in, and only one plant came up. And it was only later, about a week ago, I was getting the cardboard out my incinerator because we could have a fire. I discovered there was a family of mice living in my incinerator, which was very close to where my dwarf green beans were. So I think they may have got the green beans. But with growing these in this potting shed, the mice aren't going to get a chance, and they'll be big enough to put out before once they're big enough and they go out, the mice won't be interested in any longer. So first things first, I'm going to get some compost in these root trainers. This looks like my compost because it's got all bits in it. So there's no right or wrong way of doing this. All you do is grab handfuls of compost and fill up. So this is the way I usually grow beans. As I said, I've had good results in the past. And the mice, they'll grow in here, they'll be sheltered from any severe weather. It has been getting cold recently, but we don't often get severe frost down here in Devon. So they'll be sheltered in this potting shed anyway until they're ready to go out. Of course, these are overwintering beans, so you don't really want too much up top. You want to have a good root structure, then put them out. And the plants don't grow much after that until the spring. But what happens is come the spring, your plants have already got a head start with a good root structure in place, and they just shoot off. And the theory behind it is that if you overwinter your beans, you'll be able to harvest your beans before the dreaded black fly arrives and swarms the top of your plants. But I've heard you can also take the tops off your plants and eat them. So since that's the only part that the black fly go for, this year I might try taking some of the tops off and just use them as a leafy green for a stir fry. Then hopefully the black fly won't be so attracted to the plant. Let me just tamp these down a bit, get some of the air out. But there's another, this is Grano Violetto, but a lot of people usually use Oct22, which is another overwintering broad bean. So I'm just going to put one bean in each cell, and I'm going to plant it on its edge, not flat, but on its edge. The reason for that is if you plant it flat, there's a good chance if it sits there in water, it may rot. So I'm just going to plant them all on the ridge. I'm sure in Mother Nature, when she drops beans on the floor, and she doesn't care which way they're planted, they'll take. So it's just what I've heard, and rather than take a risk, I'll plant them on the ridge instead of flat on the side. So you don't need to push them in far. So I've just got home from work and I just decided to do this before I lost the light. So I'll get a stern talking to if it's discovered that I'm actually doing gardening in a white shirt. But it's not a messy job, and it's not going to take me that long. So you can get different sizes of these root trainers. This is a 32 cell one. I've got I think it's a 20 cell one, or a 24 cell one. 24 cell I think, which is slightly bigger cells. But obviously you don't get as many plants. Well, that's good. I've got all them in, and I've still got about 20 beans left. So if these don't take, which they will do, there's no reason why they wouldn't take. Did I put one? Yeah, I did put one in there. There's no reason why they wouldn't take. So I may give some of these to Delilah and let her try them out. So it's just a matter now of just topping up the compost over the top of the beans, making sure you've got a good firm contact between the soil and the beans. So this is my first cropping for next year. The next thing I'm going to do is my garlic, which will be going in hopefully this weekend, depending on the weather. I'll just give them a water and a label. I'll print a label out soon. Give them a good water, and that's all they should need. Make sure all of them get a good water, so they get good contact. Well, this will get rid of any air gaps in the soil, as well as watering them. I'm not sure how long these will take to germinate and pop up, but they don't take long, and once they do start growing, they grow really fast. So there you go, everyone. That's my broad beans for next year in the root trainers, and they'll be there for a month maybe, then they'll get planted out at the allotment. Thanks for watching.